Um, All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nishani Pereira. I'll be the moderator for this session today. First of all, I would like to remind you all the objective of organizing this kind of webinar series. As you all know, from the Institute of Chartered Accountants, we wanted to, especially from the members division, we wanted to conduct some kind of a webinar series in order to support you. Also start your own practices. If you have that kind of an interest by participating to these webinars, you will be able to get kind of an understanding. Up to now, we have conducted 9 webinar series, and today's one is the 10th one, where we have a very interesting session to discuss today. It's the tax practice. As you can see in the screen, we are going to discuss about the tax practice. For that, we have a very experienced person to discuss about the tax practice. He's Ms. Saman Sri Lanka. I hope you all know him. He's a council member, as well as he's a managing partner of CA Sri Lanka. He do have practical experience in handling this tax practice, as well as he do have the experience of acquisition of practices as well. I think he's very well experienced to talk about this subject, as well as to share his experience and tips for you to start your own practice and to conduct your practice as well. Therefore, without taking that much of time, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Saman Sri Lanka. But before that, I would give you kind of a brief about the format of this session. Firstly, Mr. Saman will go through his presentation, and he will discuss and share with you his experience about the tax practice. Then, if you have any questions, what you can do is you can post your question through your Q&A area. Then, after his presentation, we will take up your questions, and he will answer your question at that time. All right, it's out to you, Saman. You can start your presentation.
Thank you so much, Nishani. Hope I am audible.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are in another presentation, and also to share the experience with a lot of difficulties, I must say, and also some a situation like which we didn't expect. Right. With all these things, friends, I am going to share my experience in respect of taxation today. I think I remember I had secretarial practice and also one other session. And tax practice today, what I'm going to do actually, I am going to share my quite experience, what I have gathered during my practice. So there I'm going to cover some basic areas. There I would say that you may have different kinds of experience, you may have different kinds of thinking, you may have different kinds of approaches. But what I am going to do, that I'm going to actually share my experience, how I am coming up and how I do my business, how do I grow my business, how do I work with the staff, how do I work with the department officers, and also how do I actually get involved with the business using some strategies and also some tips. So those are the key areas where I am going to discuss within 40 minutes with you. We all know that what is the practice. We all working with the practice with policies, procedures, and principles, and ethics, and also sort of backgrounds with the department. I will explain what is the meaning of background in future slides. So if I give I can't give a very uniform introduction about what is tax practice. It is actually arguable and debatable, and based on the judgment, you all can decide that what could be the practice based on. I can see there are a lot of practitioners where even they don't have some sort of the paper qualification, even they don't have quite experience, a very young gentleman actually putting up a firm and putting up a organization, hiring and building a place, premises. They actually run this practice. How do they do that? We will discuss in future slides. So I have actually divided into a very small different slides, which you also can have different slides, different introduction about also the different structure. There I will say that tax researchers, compliance, planning, and litigation. So there I believe that these are the key areas in practice of taxation. So what do you mean tax research? Now there are a lot of clients who are coming and asking consultancy services. There are some clients actually you have, if you are or if you are an organization at the moment, you have clients, and also there are some new clients coming to you. So you know how you need to work with them. So they bring their issues to you. As a practitioner, according to the Inland Revenue Act, we have the stipulated time periods. I'm not going to go in detail on those aspects. For an instance, more or less, we go with the 30 days stipulated time period. And sometimes the client will nowadays, they send you through the WhatsApp. They send you through the what do you call emails, and also they call and tell you mostly what I get, that I got a letter, what should I do? So then I immediately tell them, actually, why don't you you email me or WhatsApp me. I actually used to work with WhatsApp, so I tell them WhatsApp me. So there I will run through the problem. I'm not going to go through in detail, because not because of I am the managing partner or I am the big boss of the office. No, I know I have in my fingertips what is this letter, and I expect these type of letters, and I also know that this particular clients will get this letter, that letter during the time period, because the time bar is going period is over. So therefore we know that a lot of 17, 18 or something, I think I can't remember. So we had the time bar, so we know that clients are going to get the letters from the department asking information, so telling them to client to finalize the matter. So these type of informations they are getting. So that is the problem analyzation. Now there you need to, as a practitioner or you as a beginner, you need to, if you are a beginner, you need to read a lot. Then if you are a practitioner on the process, you need to just run through, and you know that where to direct in your staff, in your office. Then you need to call your staff, and I don't believe that sending your staff is only enough. That you need to actually call their friends, and you need to call your staff, and you need to tell that, my dear, there is a letter for this particular client, you need to look into. I have WhatsApp. He will say, no sir, email karanda puluwan, the WhatsApp karanda puluwan. No, I have WhatsApp, you just go through. And also you need to little bit elaborate, that is how you need to make it, that is how you make interest to your staff. Otherwise, make a balala, make a uttaraya kaman, make a taggara liyan, you need to understand how you tackle your staff. So therefore you need to identify the issue. They have requested documents, or they have requested some interview, or they have requested client to come and see them. Likewise there are problems. Then determine the proper, which department, which flow, which section, with the VAT, NPT, SC, whatever, they will ask. Then you need to understand that area as the practitioner. You need to, when you advise, mainly you need to concentrate on these areas, and also apply the, the specific facts, in the sense. Now, let's say the staff may not actually address the right sections of the act. So you need to actually explain them. You need to touch on this area. You need to look at this area. You need to write your letter such a way, you need to include this and that and this thing like that. So otherwise, when you come to the final output, only you will say, why you have not done this thing, why you didn't do this, why you should have written this way the letter, So you need to give a start for them. Then it is quite easy. There are a lot of areas where I don't have time to actually explain, but these key areas where You need to look at the letter, you need to read the letter, you need to identify, you need to glance, you need to identify what are the key areas. You need to forward your staff. Then you need to, your staff, you should listen to you, maybe not listen to you, maybe not look at you. Therefore, you need to give a call. Then you elaborate this letter. Then you need to see, you need to follow it up. Same time, you get a call back to the client and tell that, I used to have a WhatsApp group always with the clients. I am sharing my experience. I connect my staff, I connect my client, I connect one of the director of my office, who is the superior than the staff who is working on, and myself. Then working together quickly. Then it is quite easy to communicate things. Otherwise, you won't get it later. The staff is going home, the staff is somewhere and the client is somewhere, and only you get the blame from the client in the day. So therefore, that key areas you need to, under the researchers, under that area, you need to look in. You can have different topic or tax research or whatever, but these are the areas you get a problem from the client, how do you handle? Then the tax compliance. What are the compliances? Now you need to gathering, evaluating, and classifying information. So there are areas where the compliance work, filing tax returns. Some of the clients actually, they give only the accounts. You need to create the business. How you create the business, you need to explain them. You are supposed to submit a return. You are supposed to submit these details along with the return. They don't know what schedules actually. If it individual tax computation, they don't know what actually information should consideration. You need to summon a meeting and you need to call for them and need to have, these are the compliance work where you need to look into. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that you need to talk to them. You need to explain them. Very nicely explain. If I little go on that, you need to talk to the client to your office, or you visit to the client, then sit with them. Not actually, I advise during this, very difficult to go and do Zoom and all, because a lot of our clients, SME clients, actually they are not actually familiar still with the Zoom, but you can make it, but very difficult. So as much as possible, you better visit to them, or you call them. They the risk behind of it, and also the strength of this letter with what you have received, or the compliance work. So it is quite easy you to face convince the matters pertaining to the compliance work and also other areas of the business. You can create a lot of businesses when the client is in your room, and also you are at the client. So then they're representing clients before the IRD during tax returns, audits. What is the area you need to look into these audits part when come to the department? You must be very careful. As I highlighted at the first point, when you got a letter from the department, you better always talk to the department, get a phone call and get understanding what has happened, why this letter has come, what is the reason. You take a phone call, they answer. Actually, they view very nice to talk to them, where you can say, actually, sometimes you can say Mr. Miss, and also they ended up with your friendly conversation. So likewise, you start having the conversation always. Don't actually keep the letter in your office and direct it to the office staff and you write the letter and send it. No, start the conversation with the department. Even if you couldn't submit the return, talk to the staff department and talk to the officers of IR, where they are very nice people. They can easily understand your position. Now even I actually these days, because of now Friday is a holiday, and now last 3 days only worked, and we had a lot of appeals to discuss, but they very well understood. So they actually told do this way, send a mail and write down the email. Once I have sent this mail, I consider that has accepted, for the acknowledgement. They say that up to that point, how you need to maintain your the liability or the responsibility towards the compliance work. So better always, when you got a letter or returns or any other work, talk to the people who are in the IRD office on behalf of your client. You don't need to allow your client to talk. It's a different language. You know that language more than your client. And also department officers also quite confident and quite convenient when you talk on behalf of your client. I don't think that you should allow your client to talk on behalf of their tax matters. They have appointed you. Don't go behind always the money, because your time and the chargeable hours and that and this thing you will look into. But make sure that you maintain the business, you safeguard the business, and you maintain the requirement of the department. When you maintain the requirement of the department, when you satisfy the requirement of the compliance work, then only you can have the continuity of the business, then only you can have the sustainability of the business, then only confidence will come about you to your client, and then only he will recommend for the clients, then he will give businesses. If you don't do that, if you ask client to look at it, if you ask client to go to the department, if you ask client to draft the letter, actually I know that practitioners, they have asked client to draft, because they don't actually willing to take the responsibility of the business or the job or the consultation work what we are doing. We should not do that. We actually give we have a certain amount of responsibility. But when signing and all, you must be careful what actually you are going to sign, what actually the client should sign, and client you need to explain them, and that way you need to draft the letters also, appeal, some documents missing, some affidavit. Even these cases are going on because of the, you maybe can remember there was a box in the department. There are a lot of information our friends have put into that box, original information, original documents without, I don't know, acknowledgement. So as a result, they somewhere misplaced. So then the affidavits are coming to the picture. So these things you need to actually very carefully need to handle, because all these informations are owned by the client, not by you. So on behalf of the client, we actually act as a tax agent or the officers or the consultants. So therefore, when we have the responsibility about the client's information, we have 100% responsibility to look after those information on behalf of the client. And also we need to provide the information to the department, to them to get an conclusion or the assurance, or go to the next step. Unless they can't see the original documents, they can't go to the next step, because they are also getting audited by the Auditor General. So therefore, they need to have the information to issue a refund, or go to the next level, or give a conclusion, or go to any other procedures to be followed. They need to. But sometimes, some occasions I have seen now, things happen differently. Original documents are misplaced. So therefore, we need to have better understanding with the department. This is how where the compliance work is come into the picture. Actually, I don't have much time, but we will go through one by one, little by little. So the tax planning. There also you have a lot of, you need to use in this, at this point, lot of knowledge, with, I think we say cumulative or experience, where we need to have that cumulative experience. Why? How do you avoid legitimated? Then how you do evasion? How do you do that, the open transaction? I'm not going to go in the technical term, but these are the areas we need to look into. Then the open transactions. Then how you are going to the closed transaction. On this subject, how do you plan the clients, the tax liability, and also any other issues? Now, for an instance, when say tax liability, now you submit the estimated tax returns at the beginning of the year, right? And quarterly tax you need to pay if there is a liability, right? But you still have the responsibility as the consultant, avoid or wait to look at the transaction and also plan yourself, or do the closed transaction. Nowadays you see, now you can see these days lot of quarterly accounts, they have not accrued the real liability. Why? Because of the foreign currency matter. You may have now started to do the audit. You can actually understand what I'm trying to say. So some are actually accounted on the cash basis, because the bank and what bank has released, they have accounted. But if you go go through the details, the documentation part, and also the goods transfer up and down. It has been happened. It has been taken place, and the production is processing. How can production is processing if the goods have not come to the reach to the stores? So, but the liability has not accounted such a way. So you need to look into. You need to go into the detail, because of the dollar matter. The bank has not released the full amount, and the amount has accounted only on the cash basis. Maybe mostly our SME sector, they don't know actually whether we need to put it full amount, or bank has not actually honored, and what should I do? So therefore you must very careful the accrual concept, which we need to maintain the prudence very carefully whether they have taken into all the transaction into the books of accounts. Where you need to give your advice. You need to give your consultation. There you need to look into the documents, because most of the owners and also the corporates, they have the system. Listed companies, they have the system, and auditing is happening, so they actually can catch it up, because they have the proper internal control system prevail in the organization. Some of the organization, it may not, and also this during this the working from home culture, it may not be able to give the documents to the accounts division. So therefore you need to look into these aspects, whether right liability, right expense, I must say right income, definitely it should be there. Mainly the expense, whether it has accounted properly. If it has not accounted properly, as a consultant, not only you don't say that I'm the tax consultant, so I don't know about the financial statement. I don't know you. This is what I got the finance statement. This is how. Even our friends in the organization, practicing organization, or the audit firms, my experience, what I'm trying to say, work as a unity, work as a team. You know, the most of firms accounts division, audit audit tax computation. Don't do that. Have your knowledge. I can share millions of experience where our actually senior partners, how actually they have looked at it when we give a set of accounts. So can you look at this and give to me your feedback? One gentleman, actually, when I was working in a different firm, where I remember that he go through an entire set of finance. As you also practice as a practitioner, not only as a what do you call that, tax practitioner, look at the other aspect as well. Look at the financial side as well. See whether that right liabilities, right expenses, right obligations, and all accounted, all the assets, all the reserves, all the expenses taken into consideration. Look at that. Mainly this period, because of the situation in the country, and also the transaction that has happened in the banks. So therefore you must very carefully look at that aspect. This is very much important, although more than the tax practice what I'm going to discuss today. So this is where, but make sure that you see the documents, because you know open transactions stop at a time. Right, so legitimate side, you need to look into that part. So therefore you must very careful when you bring these transactions into the books. And also you can remember some of the transactions, how it happened, and what sort of legal background actually created, and how it has happened, and how it is retrospectively affected. Transaction so this is where we actually need to give our consultation, not as a practitioner of the taxation only, but as a practitioner organization as a whole. There we need to look at it, whether the financial is right, whether the tax liabilities right, whether the computation is prepared correctly, whether the engagement letters is given to the tax also to the client, that everything you need to look into. You don't need to look into only the your areas. So and also now we are in July. At the beginning of the year or the middle of the year, when you do the quarterly tax payment, you need to see that whether the company has sort of a financial statement preparation method like QuickBook or Tally or whatever. So although you have submitted the estimated tax return, see whether you can pull it out some financial statement which is actual at that period, and see whether what you have submitted in this estimated tax return, whether it is actual or not. So this is where we actually need to give our consultation, not as a practitioner of the taxation only, but as a practitioner organization as a whole. There we need to look into it, whether the financial is right, whether the computation is prepared correctly, whether the engagement letters is given to the tax also to the client, that estimated tax return and compare with what you have computed now today, maybe they don't pay for you fee, but you can create a business. You look into that, call for that, discuss with them with that, and send a small bill. They definitely will pay, because you are going to save what they are going to pay. You are going to save what we agreed at the time of estimated tax return filed. So therefore, you don't worry about your fee. You definitely get the money when you save for the client. There are some clients, even you save, they don't pay. But that is the problem, the way you handle the client. Even I don't say, I can't say that word, but different client, unusual client, even you should be able to tackle. That is your knowledge and that is your experience. That's how you win the client. There you need to understand how you win the client. Working with the client is no problem. Everyone can working with the client if you have the technical knowledge, if you are working the way the client is required. But winning is a different aspect. Creating is a different aspect. Winning is a challenge. Winning is the skill, the how you win the client. So therefore, you see that how you can prepare and calculate quarterly tax payments, and whether they have some, whether they are going to buy some assets, whether they are going to do some transaction, are they going to commit some obligations to the outsiders, are they going to go for different kinds of business, and are they going to give in the same business different kinds of businesses where you can enjoy the different tax holidays or tax concessions. So these aspects you need to look into, and you need to spot on, you need to understand that how the client is going to behave during the year, because behavior meaning that he used the funds what the company is having on his own. Sometimes if it is a private limited company, even some of the corporates MDs are working like that. But you need to look into, you need to talk to them. Sir, if you, Mr., when you are going to work with, when you are going to do something, I think it's better always talk to me also, and I will also give my advice. I think you may not, actually it is important, but I just talk to me if you are going to buy a vehicle, if you are going to do a business, if you are going to go and merge with someone, if you are going to go, these days during the past period, they did a lot of transactions. I'm not saying diversified, they look into some other alternatives, other opportunities. So they actually not sure whether with your understanding or without your understanding they went in. Because if it was with the understanding of yourself, it is quite easy for you to handle them, for you to handle their financial transactions. Therefore, you must understand winning client, and also communicate with the client at least once a month, twice a month, and also thrice a month. And also the payment is due, tax payment is due at that time. Talk to the top, not to the bottom level, not to the financial account. No point. As you as a practitioner, if you are going to talk with the small guys in the company, I don't think that you can practice for a long time, because when the small guy is going to go away from the company, your business also going to lose. So always gradually try to catch the big man, we say big fish, right? And understand and talk to them nicely, but with the confidence. I actually explained once in a session, I think acquiring a business session, I explained that. So there you need to understand how you need to handle. So when you can come to the tax, make sure that although you have submitted, although you have given the documents, although you have complied with the department, the requirement, see whether you can make the revision on that. If you can make the revision, now you can see some of the companies have paid the quarterly payment, 1/4 of last year payments, also based on the estimated tax return, huge amount of tax, and those are refunds. You never get it, right? And and you have huge loss in the business bottom line. You are still paying quarterly taxes. What for? And what is the meaning? Why it isn't required? And whose money you are bumping or dumping in the department, and why they cannot do some other businesses from those money, and why don't you instruct them to do that way, and why you are sending the same document what you were sending the previous quarter? No, You need to always work with the client, work with the big man, not work with the financial accountant, not work with the other middle level, but also touch on the big man always and tell these are the liabilities going to pay, and this is how we analyze. Can I have a meeting? I want to come and explain. There you explain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. All those so much of tax liabilities there. We went on this thing that thing. I will share another experience in this case. There are a lot of VAT refunds. There are a lot of other refunds you have, but you don't, at the moment, companies don't have income tax, don't have money to pay income tax liability. Why we cannot actually discuss the department to get that to here? It is difficult. You will argue me days and days, but try. I have tried and I have won. So therefore, I am telling. So because we don't have money at the moment, our clients don't have money at the moment. We need money. We need to pay quarterly taxes, but we have hell of amount the refunds in the department which they need to clear. So why don't you look at those aspects and see that how you are going to handle? Department commissioners and also assistant commissioners will give you thousands of explanation. No, you cannot set it off against one division to other division, that to this and this to that, and all these things. True, but you try, you will be able to get that. I have that guarantee. So, but you need to approach it very nicely. I'm not saying different way, but you with the facts and figures. Don't know any other ways. If you have the facts and figures, don't worry about. Don't think about different thought process of this getting of the return refunds and delaying of the payments, submitting of. If you have done right work, if you have done the computations right, if you have done the maintain the discipline with the department on the respect of documentation, and they definitely respect you as well. They respect you if you respect them with the workings, with the computation, with the documents, and honor on the dates. But the information, some of the ourselves, we have not actually done the way they want. We are going different, doing different approaches, which is really not required. But if you actually, they have asked documents, give them documents. Why we can't give them documents? Then something wrong with our accounts. So therefore, make sure that you submit the required information on time and comply with them and talk to them, even like clients, even to the department, and also even some other departments now. So, you know, what the other say, other department. Now, some of the extract and all custom documents you don't have, because these days that's a big issue. So you must talk to the people. You must talk to them. Get a phone call and talk to. Don't wait sending emails. It's never going to work, because now, you know, the Friday is holiday, right? And it's not a holiday, but they say working from office now. Even in the morning, the department officers talk to me, and I got surprised. Okay, are you madam working? Okay, yes, I am. So someone, can I have the letter, and will you be able to come to the office today? I told madam, I actually didn't expect today, so I will come definitely Monday morning, and I'll be there Monday morning. You know, I can't skip that. So that's how you need to maintain the discipline, and they will also honor and they will also respect you. I don't think that you need to go any other different methods of approach. So, so therefore, what I'm trying to explain, that plan with yourself and make sure that all the legal provisions in the act you have taken into consideration. And I don't think that I should go in detail how you plan your client's tax liability. No, you know very well, but make sure that you planned it very well. You know, there are a lot of provisions in the Inner Revenue Act where you can actually get in, you can make the client enjoy, like let's say some of the SME people, they don't want cars, they want to buy a van. They don't know what actually, if they buy a van, they can enjoy capital allowances. They don't know. So they go for a car and they think that, sir, I paid so much of tax to the vehicle, and advise them to get a vehicle which we can claim capital allowances. The traveling also enjoying, and this side also enjoy on the tax liability. So those are a lot of things there we need to discuss, and it could be a tax planning is a vast area and it's a different subject. But I'm trying to say, at least don't keep refunds in the client's department accounts as receivable. Go and evaluate and see whether the quarterly payments are right, whether the computations are correctly, before at the year end computed properly based on the monthly accounts. I must say monthly accounts. Don't expect our client to give audited accounts at the year end. Go visit them, talk to them monthly, and don't think that they don't pay, but talk to them. They will tell that I'm going to buy this thing, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to give so much of money to my daughter, she's going to get married, and I'm going to give so much of, and all these things, transactions. These are huge transactions where your consultation is really required to the client, and make the client also to talk to you, because you can't always talk to all the clients what you have. If you have 300, 400, 500 clients, you cannot talk to the client. Make the clients talk to you also. That you need to gradually improve. Then the litigation, I actually touched on that as well. Dispute with the IRD in the court, and also attorney usually. Yeah. Now, how do you do the working with the department? That's actually our chairman Tishan also wanted to touch on this area. Someone touch he actually wanted to highlight you. Now, how you work with the officers of the department? It is very easy, I must say, very easy. But you need to work straightforward. You can't work the way you want. Intimation letter. When you receive the letter, then what you should do, that you should not wait them to issue the assessment. What you should do, you go through the intimation letter and see that what are the contents of that letter. Immediately get a phone call, talk to them, and go and see them. The following day, you go and see them. Not only you, with your staff who is handling, because you may not be able to handle continuously. So therefore, you go with your staff and sit and get an appointment, sit. I don't say that conference call and Zoom, okay, that's fine, fair enough. But face to face, have better understanding between you and they really help you. They definitely help you. They listen to you. They understand the situation. They don't want actually kick off you from the issue. They want actually help you to the client, because you are working on behalf of the client. They know very well. So after that, some information you may not be able to give. Some information you may be able to give. Then they will say, related evidence you can provide. Yes, you can provide. If you can't provide, you need to talk. If the assistant commissioner and the senior commissioner are not willing, I don't say not willing, they will, right? But your financial statement, what you have given should be, accurate, and also should be fair, and the audit opinion also declared. So therefore, you should be able to handle. And there are some clients, audit is different partner and the tax is different organization. Audit is different organization, tax is audit. So you as a tax practitioner, what you should do, you make an appointment with the audit partner. Don't think that why should I go to him, and why should I go for those ego issues. Make sure that you go and see the audit partner, and or else if you are very good friends, tell them, can we have a meeting? Somewhere meet them and discuss, and have your staff also there, because your staff need to get the knowledge of this information, this sharing of information to handle, because he or she only handle the case, not you and me. So therefore, you need to have a proper meeting and get that their working papers. Go through their working papers, how they have developed their logical argument, because your tax provision, they audit again. They can't just provide what you give. They need to calculate, they need to ensure the accuracy of the tax liability if it is different, two different organizations. So therefore, you look at it, those 2-3 aspects, and make sure that they have correctly estimated the liability. You may have estimated the liability, but how, on what ground they have assumed it is true and fair. So get those experience, get those knowledge into your letter, into your argument with the commissioners, with the assistant commissioners. And along with that, go to the department, convince to the department officers. If in case, if it's required, talk to the client, tell that, can we have our audit partner also in some of the case? Don't get shy, don't get shamed that, okay, I cannot handle, and let client or let whoever to have think differently, doesn't matter. Make sure that you win the case with the department. You can win the case, definitely can, because they are asking the information what you have submitted, nothing else. They are not asking anything out of the world. They are asking the information what you submitted to the client. They need some proof how you have decided, how you have, some of the, I don't say, some of the people, they calculate the gross profit from the cost of sales also, right? And they say that your gross profit is so much, and therefore your gross profit should have this and that. So how much you explain, they don't understand. How much explain, they don't listen to you. So bring another party. Who is that? Your auditor, right? Maybe in the same firm, 2 different partners. Doesn't matter. Go and explain. That is how you should do. Then they will explain, they will understand. They don't go beyond 2-3 people when come to the department. No, they are not that arrogant or whatever. No, they don't. They listen, they understand. Only thing that they need to convince. When the query arises from the audit division or from any other commissioner, senior commissioner, assistant commissioner should be able to convince. So as much as possible, if you give the proof of evidence to he or she to give that, convince that information to the authority or the senior commissioner or audit division or whoever, then they are quite comfortable. So until that, they actually go behind you. What we do, when we got the letter, be scared, and the client first scared, and you get scared, and we don't go behind the letters. No, we quickly talk to the department, we quickly get into the letters, we quickly get into the transaction, because we don't have time. We must be very careful on that, because we have different subject stipulated time period is defined in that. Based on that only we need to work it. So therefore we need to immediately work on. If you cannot, maybe you are not able to, but you tackle the staff, you talk to the staff, and also you give a call, and also make nowadays how I do, I working with the emails, and I write that sentence at the end, and I tell that I call, Miss Sir, I sent a mail, and have you received? So okay, they have received. So I make a note in myself. So I send it to my office staff and keep in this email printed and put into the file. So this is how we need to work it, because otherwise they say, I have not received, I don't know. So you didn't come, blah, blah, blah. So issues comes, So therefore you must be very, very careful when you see the acknowledgement. And acknowledgement are very important, because they say that it is not actually their fault also. We have a responsibility. We are working for the client. We are getting fees. So we need to work with the department, and on behalf of the client, we need to talk to. Maybe you are busy, but you ask your staff to do that. That is why I say always keep your staff with you. Then it is quite comfortable and easy for you to work with the department. So litigation, I can talk a lot, but it is quite lengthy, and now 4:15. So practical tips to make your practice more successful. Switch to recurring monthly billing. Yes. Now what I do actually, I sharing. I don't charge at once. Sometimes I have retainer fees. I have some sort of understanding with the client, and I always have the engagement letters with the client. And engagement letter may not be that type of big clients based on the big document like our corporate clients. It's an understanding between the parties, but it prevail the legislation requirement and cash flow planning. So I always talk to the client and ask 1 month before. Now when the August 15th, now I am actually working with the clients, because the 15th 15th is very closer now, 1 month behind. So I actually talk to them and I see that I won't reserve their money too, and also calculate and see how much is their the figures in the bank accounts, and from which account they are going to pay, and how is that after that they pay so much of money to the department, what is the pending ship LCs or liabilities. So all these things, actually we go into the detail. If you don't go into the detail, some of the finance managers are very, very clever, some are not to worry, clever, I'm okay, so I'm on the subject, so not to worry. So likewise they actually work with us, then we should not worry. But you need to give that call, you need to make a call, you need to discuss with them and invest in your team's development. Actually you need the team's development is a tough task these days, retaining staff and also the clever staff, and working in the office. Most of people like to work at the work from home, but it's I don't know whether it is really workable, because this type of cases we need to visit to the department, we need to show our face, we need to talk to the department, and we need to get the documents, because they are the staff department office are still like to see us, like to discuss us, keeping us on front of the table. So we need to see that for that actually whether we have the team, and tax time, then the negotiate with the ATO for your clients, advanced tax officers, you need to get it that with the officers you have right officers, then the be a you need to be I told that you need to be a very nice communicator, otherwise you cannot work with the clients. Then stay on top of new privacy and security laws. Yeah, I explained that privacy and I must say the privacy you may not be able to always maintain with the clients, because some of the clients are blasting, they don't, when you say tax, why should we pay, and why but we need to maintain them, we need to maintain them cool, and also they are, some of the clients, they don't know how to work with the tech, computers, and they don't know how to send an email, how to send you a fund transfer, because these days they cannot go to the bank. So you need to go to the using the AnyDesk or something, explain them, this is how, sir, this is how, tell them, teach them, work with them and explain them. Don't say that you are going unnecessarily accessing their record. No, don't go that extent. You are trying to help them, they also very well understand. So some are there, we cannot actually explain over the this type of platform. So go to them, work with them, and there are ways to go to them. So use different kinds of platform, and also evaluate our, I used to do that, give a 6 months time, 3 months time, 1 year, ask that from our client, how are you happy, have you done sort of an evaluation. Our clients, it's international firms, actually we must do that, that is, and we need to send the documents. I don't say that, I don't go in that extent, but I'm trying to say you better give a call and see that are they happy about our staff. You might have a lot of monthly tax consultation assignment, and also VAT and SWAT assignment. So go talk to them and see that are they happy, are they whether our staff are working with them, do we collect all the SWAT vouchers and all, and are we saving some money to the company. So you as a managing partner need to look into, and you need to balance your the pitch on the sales, and you need to work on your business. So you need to see that how you are going to raise the bills, and which point, and how you are going to recover, how you are going to pay. Because in my practice, actually, while the work is going on, I raise the invoice. If I don't raise the invoice, you don't get money. When the job done, it is people reluctant to pay. People, they don't actually feel pain. That's the nature of our some of the people. So therefore, you go with the department letter, go with the invoice, get the receipts for the cash and send it. So here the receipt what you have paid, and here the documents which we have submitted, and here the acknowledgement you have the group WhatsApp group easily put on. You have all the groups for that and this thing. Why you don't have your business? So take it. Then the partnership with professionals. I know some of the cases you don't have the knowledge and experience about some other businesses, like the foreign currency transactions, some of the BOI arrangement, some of the international transactions, and some of the what you call DTA, and also some of the expertise what you need. So get some high professional people and high caliber and also knowledgeable people. Get to yourself and get an understanding. Don't put forward the money, but you say that have the can we have this understanding. I actually used to get calls and I actually explain, but I don't get single cents. I don't want. Right. So but you have that relationship with the people and share your knowledge and and you also tell them this is how, that is how, this is work. And also these days a lot of business opportunities our clients having overseas. So create them and talk to them, and Bangladesh and then Dubai and most of places they have, and tell them the opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities where you can go and invest, rather, something like that, and explain them and see. Then you may not be able to handle alone, right? And you need some expertise service. So then talk to your friends among. Don't think that he also go and capture your client, and don't think that he will pull out your client. No, and have that understanding. If you are doubt, my dear friend, this is my client, don't want you to talk. They don't greedy. I don't know that that is not the way you need to do business. If you are supposed to receive something, you will receive definitely. Keep it that mind always. And if you are deserved, you will get it, right? So always make sure that you update yourself. You read, at least if you are busy, just glance through and listen it, which is very easy way. A lot of things, webinars, seminars and all, get into connect and listen and get the recordings. Listen, even though you don't have time to read, listen, and you can get update yourself. Then the point when the others are talking, where they are touching, where they are talking, then you know that how to tackle that question when you go through 1, 2, 3 times. So and always make sure that when the client is calling for a meeting, you yourself, I have a meeting at actually 4:45, so you need to work with the client, and the client is at Polonnaru. They need to sell actually what you call those Huduhal and the higher. The guy, the client is here, they want to buy from here, Colombo. So I need to get involved. I need to work with them. I need to talk to them, not actually allow other people to talk to them and get that get involved with the business. We need to actually work on. We need to give our presence. Just you be aware that you are in the screen. That's enough. And 1 or 2 sentences, 1 or 2 points you can put in. That is enough. That is what the client is like. Confidence, right? And the strength they need. You don't need to work on throughout the session, but you can excuse even. So you have that your objectives. I even explained that last time also. Nishani needs sometimes for the Q&A. Staff focus and staff, very important, very, very, very important. These days staff are not coming to the office, and also they are not working from home. Also my experience, very tough, but you need to work for the client, very tough. One is that understanding, and also their mentality, and the universities are not working, and the exams are not happening, tuitions are not there. They are kids, they are students, but they don't have vision like that. The businesses what we have, they have the vision of the education. They have vision of the overseas training, overseas jobs, or the local good job. So where they are going, how can we help them? So we cannot actually blame them, but you can blast them, and you have not come to, and all these things, but not going to work. So therefore, but you can't lose the business. You need to concentrate on your business. You need to work on the day and night, and you need to work with the client, even though it is not email for you. Even if you are in the loop, okay, noted, thank you, the friend you are working on. Likewise, just send a message, meaning showing that you are live and you are working with the client. We are working with you. Show them. So practical planning and marketing strategies and managing communication. I explained, find out some competition. Yeah, there are a lot of competitive businesses are happening, but you should not worry when you have enough business. Work with that. You have thousands of businesses you can and businesses, and you can create businesses. from that. So therefore, you should not worry how much you have clients, work with that. That is enough for you. Onboarding, then the challenges, technology, referral plan, cross-sell, taxes. So I have actually plotted out a lot of areas to discuss. Nishani, over to you. And 425, I know that I can share experience long and detail, but I think I can stop from this point, and I would like to get one or two questions, if any. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Saman. Very interesting and very interesting. You have shared your experience. I think it will be help to our audience or the participants who do have excessive practice to refresh, as well as to get some tips from you to handle clients kind of, or else the people have received some kind of an insight for them to start a business as well. Since we do have some questions from the audience, I think we have 7 to 8 questions. So let's go through one by one. The first one is, as per the new IRD Act, a tax agent is required to sign the tax return. It's a huge responsibility. And what do you think about that, Saman?
Actually, we are our institute level also. Actually, we are discussing on that subject. So I will stop from that, and I'm not going to go in detail. Actually, it's a computation signing is not our responsibility as a tax consultant. So actually, we are working on that. So I'm not going to go in detail. Then let's wait and see. But it's not our responsibility. We are working on that, and we hope that that can be actually. I don't say avoided. I can say avoided. Yes.
All right. The second question, it's from my angle of a person who would like to start a practice. What he's asking is, in tax practice, most essential part is the updated knowledge. In Sri Lankan context also, we can see the taxes are frequently changing. Unfortunately, since we don't have kind of a
Nishani, I can't hear you.
Is it clear now?
Yes. I think my internet is breaking. I don't know. Yes, tell me.
Yeah, there was kind of a small breakings throughout the session. Maybe the reason. Anyway, it was not that kind of a significant thing for us to listen to you. Right. I will go through this question again. Actually, this is about the new entrants, the people who would like to start the practice. And in Sri Lankan context, we can see there are frequent changes to the tax laws, the regulations. Therefore, it's very essential to the people to have kind of an updated knowledge about the tax. Then, what do you think about is how do you build up those contacts, as well as how are you adjusting to those changes?
Okay, I actually got the break, maybe internet connection. Your question is, Nishani, how as a new practitioner, how get the knowledge update on tax side, right? Okay, simple as I explained earlier. There are exams also, right? Different institutions. That way you can have the paper qualification up. That way you can have a lengthy of detailed knowledge. And also there are a lot of sessions, not like good old days. Nowadays there are a lot of sessions. If you go through the institutes what we have, CMA, Chartered Institute, and also any other institutes, you have a lot of sessions. There are AAT. There are a lot of tax sessions. They are continuing. Even Nishani, you can remember you handle 1 or 2 sessions. So these are the where you can actually gather your knowledge. Plus, you like now our law friends, if you can actually have a very senior tax partner or a gentleman with you, it is a quite easy and comfortable. This is how we learned, the very senior gentleman keep with you, even paying something for a month or something, doesn't matter, but with that personal understanding. Not actually, it's an open understanding. You no need to bring to the office, and you no need to take to the department and all, but for you to clarify your issues, some of the senior gentlemen, they are willing to help you. They are very senior gentlemen. Even some are senior commissioners, even some are our senior chartered accountants. They are very much confident and experienced people to help you. They are also, you need to pay something. You can't just ask for, and also there are some, I don't want money. You can't continue. Then you can have a better understanding agreement, or not agreement like written agreement, but sir, I have this and this thing. Likewise, I will call you, I will talk to you, then I can have, and so then you need to help me. Likewise, get an understanding. You can ask now your next question, can I find someone? No, don't do that. Don't ask me from me that question. But get into, there are a lot of people to help, and also get into our institute having a lot of committees, tax committee, symposium, and the tax faculty, and also tax what you call our tax school committee, and different seminars we are organizing. Come and join, and tell you things like what you are now telling today. So then we can have some sort of understanding, pool of knowledge people, and connect you. Yeah, Nishani.
How about the building up contacts and the connections? You highlighted the relationships.
Yes. Actually, for that, these days very difficult because of the pandemic and because of these issues in the country. But when we have the seminars physically, actually have the networking, come and join to the networking sessions, and also our institute having the members relations committee, and also you can lodge the things like what you are explaining. If the numbers are very high, we can think about it, these things, how to have a pool of our senior people get into and instruct you and consult, make your knowledge update, different sessions we can have that. So these are actually, you need to come forward, you need to talk to our people in the institute, and also to us, and also to our member relation chairman and everyone, and tell you the issues. Then it is quite easy. We can have a pool of people and educate you. It's a very good question, and how to handle and how to get the instructions, how to consult people, because even us, we had our senior partners in our organization, where we had the Nishani, you can remember, we went, and all the issues we go and discuss it. We know subject sometimes, but we debate, then only the knowledge will be expanded. And we go, but I don't go without knowing anything, right? I do my homework first. I get the book into the hand, and I refer this relevant provision properly, highlight myself and show them and debate. Then only you can learn very well. So this actually, we can create a pool of people, pool of knowledgeable people. There are plenty of tax practitioners, and there are plenty of senior gentlemen, ladies are in our members division, or the members fraternity in our chartered accountants. So we can actually ask them to, we can create a pool of knowledge hub. So giving you advices, and also make sure that you don't need to get everything for free. Try to make sure that if you are going and go and engage with the senior person, so can I pay something for you monthly or twice quarterly or something like that? It's not a shame. Some people actually they're happy. Even they are newspaper cost or something, there are a lot of, but the experience they have is. Yes, Nishani.
How about the building up contacts with the department officials?
Very good question. Very good question. That is actually how you building up. You must be honest. You should maintain your integrity. Don't go with the other aspects. Maintain the integrity, maintain the honesty, work with the people of the staff of the office. They will definitely go with the sections included in the act. You should not go any other aspects. There are people who don't have knowledge, I must tell you. If they have knowledge, if we have done the right computation of income tax, if you have done the right set of accounts, you can go and debate and debate and debate. You will win. I don't say that you need to give and that and this thing and all confident and all other avenues and all other areas you should touch on. That is not actually, we should not create that part. And when you work with maintaining the honesty and integrity, meaning that when they send a letter, at least you call and tell them, sir, miss, sir, I am going to answer your notice. I'm going to give you the information what you require. I'm going to bring with my client and see you soon. This is how you should not ignore. Then the integrity or your professional relationship will be getting damaged. Then only you need to go some other arrangement and work on, because you have forgotten, you have missed out, you have lost that information, and you have not actually responded the way it is required by the department. Then you are going hinchy pinchy and all these other arrangement where I don't want to talk. Right. So if you actually talk, if you are respond to the subject which they have requested, they will go with you along on the paper. They don't, but you should be able to provide right set of accounts. You understand that? Right, RIGST, right set of accounts, right? And on the right subject, not in the different way. If you have not prepared the right set of accounts, talk to the auditors and make sure that how they have given the true and fair. That is what I said, that discuss with the auditors and see that how they have maintained the confidentiality, maintaining the confidentiality. How do they maintain the evidence on the particular transactions? Then that evidence or the way of argument, which is very really applicable for you to go and explain to the department. Quite easy. Then you can convince to the department officers, and they are very well. And 1 or 2 jobs when going on, your name is everywhere, your the firm is everywhere, they will be happy. There are some organizations, when they tell that, this is how they are going to do. No, this is how, likewise. So I don't want to interview. I tell them to bring the documents. That's enough for me. I will go through. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to see them. Likewise, don't get to that. But there are organizations which you have acquired, and the image has been maybe tarnished or something, but you rebuild that, bring it back. You don't need to go with what the earlier firm or earlier what they did. You go with the new and fresh mindset and convince them. Then only you can actually create and also organize a very nice relationship. And they will call your mobile. The department officers will call you mobile. I'm having this issue, what I do, and are you going to pay this thing? And going to otherwise going to put a letter. Don't do, madam, sir, don't do. I'm going to get a check and bring to you. Likewise, you can handle like a bank.
Thank you very much. I think we also should not encourage that kind of a culture. We should be handful with what we are talking, and if we do have that confidence, I think the officials also will try to respect us, and they will welcome our thoughts as well. All right. The next question is, this is relating to the fee structure. What they're telling is we don't have a proper guidelines on the fee structure when it comes to the tax assignments. Different tax consultants charge different amounts irrespective of the quality of service that they are providing. What's your advice? How can we address this? What's your hint for that?
Yeah, Nishani, actually, how we work together and how I brought up and how I came up. And I must understand what is my objective and what is my staff objective, what is our organization objective. We should not go with the others, what they do. How much you get, that is enough for you. That is enough for me. So, and also see whether the fee you agree with the client is enough for you or not. If it is enough for you, go ahead with that. If it is not enough for you, discuss with the client. Don't go and compare with the other people who are how much charging. You don't know how much charging they are and on what basis. I must tell you. Sometimes inside, behind of it, no documents at all. But you have a lot of documents. You have a lot of proof of documents. And you are maintaining your professionalism always. That is very much important. You can sleep well, my dear friends, at the age of 60, 65, 70. Very nicely you can sleep because you have done very nice job. This is what I need, enough money. My bank account, this is enough. I don't want more than that. But others may be charging millions and thousands and all, and I can bring plenty of example with my 25 to 30 experience, but I don't want that. What I'm trying to say, the amount what I am going to get or getting from the client, if it is enough for me, it is enough. We don't want to how much the competitively they are charging. We don't want. You will say someone, then you are undercutting others market. No, there is no market as such. This much is charged for this rate, and this much is this rate. No one know what is the number of staff of our firms. We don't have still the public information yet. We don't know how much clients they have. We don't know. Do you have disclosed anyone to this? How many clients you have? How much is your turnover? Nothing. Nowhere. We have not yet. So let's work on ourselves. If I am happy, everyone will be happy in your firm, in your organization. So make sure that you charge the way you, not actually the way you want, but the way the client is happy. Then only the client will continue. Even you charge, let's say for an instance of the compliance, tax compliance work, 7,500, or tax compliance meaning, let's say submitting of tax returns. Maybe 10,000, maybe 12,000, maybe 15,000, maybe 25,000, maybe 35,000. File in the tax return, right? That's all. Tax division, and 7,500, maybe 5,000, right? But still, the client will say, so much is too much. Can you charge me 3,500? Are you not going to charge 3,500? Can you charge 7,500? No, you can't, because you need to work according to the client. If you can't work according to the client, you lose the business. Don't think that tax service only you are going to get. Even if you are a tax practitioner, if you have the 3,500, 7,500, 5,000, 10,000 client, make sure that you work directly and reduce your amount of work with them. And you need to apply your strategical, the way of approaching the business. You don't need to go in detail. If you are going in detail, if you are going and answering those questions, go and get the fees on those circumstances. Let's say 2,500, let's say 5,500, let's say, you might say 2,500 is nothing, but 2,500 into 100 is how much you know that. Right? So maybe not a lot of work, maybe only the paper working. But this is how the clients are, engaging, clients are happy. No, don't think that you need to, that gentleman has charged 125,000 for this, and I also need, they don't come with you. Why they came to you from 125,000? Because they think that you will charge 75,000. You don't believe how much when we do the audits and all, when we do the tender, how much I put and how much actually the other firms they have put, you don't know. Very, very minimal, because of the different type of strategies, business strategies they have. They are willing to get that business at that rate. So therefore, the fee you charge, although there is no, I'm happy there is no standard rate. It should not be standard rate, because that is not the way you win the client. When you win the client, you can charge the fees. If you don't win the client, if you are going to work with the client like other people, you can't continue the business. Very difficult.
All right, thank you for that. The next question is this is about when we are providing the tax and audit service simultaneously. The question is, sometimes the information that they are declared or disclosed to the audit as well as the tax return, they don't give they don't disclose the vital information. In addition to that, there can be the discrepancies also, maybe to the audit and to the tax. How to safeguard that kind of scenario?
Nishani, I need to ask another cross question on this. Either tax and audit in the same firm or different firms?
I think simultaneously, the same firm. Yeah.
Same firm. So they say that tax in the audit accounts not disclosed all, but tax computation.
Sometimes they may not.
No. I said no. That is no. This is a kolewahala gahana katawak no kiyanne ehema bæ. You can't do that. When you have the financial statement, you need to have the financial statement. I said the right financial statement. Someone, are you talking? Do you have financial statement, right financial statement? You will ask. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Why? when you declared your audit opinion or express your audit opinion, you need to make sure your information explanation, what you have received based on the auditing standard, you have declared in the scope of audit opinion, you have gathered audit opinion, the evidence relating to the transaction, what you have accounted in the what they have accounted in the financial statement, and the director has taken into the consideration of responsibilities, and you are declaring or expressing your opinion. So there, the financial statement have signed off by the officers of the organization. Where we need to discuss very nicely at the meeting when the audited financial statement are finalizing. Don't finalize the audited accounts in your office. Go and see the client. Right? When you or else Zoom or something, have some understanding after draft with the draft audited accounts, go and discuss and explain them. This is where that, this is where this is where that is, and this is how this has accounted, and as a result this will happen, and that will happen if it is come through like this. This has planned, and this is how it has come. You know what I'm talking about, right? Everyone, I think, practitioners. So you need to understand, explaining them. Then the problems arise. You are not only the responsible person, but you have explained them. Why the clients need to pay reduced amount of tax. They don't want huge amount of tax, but the liability, what you have, what we have come across is huge. So you can have the tax planning. You can tell that this type of expenditure, this type of capital allowances at the beginning of the year. It's a long process. You cannot actually calculate at the last minute and look at it and say that no, this is how liability, and this you should pay, and this much only you have paid as per the estimated tax return, and the quarterly amount so much, and there is very minimum amount withholding tax, because withholding tax not there no more, so therefore no refunds, and you need to pay so much. They won't pay. They will tell this and that to do. You can't do that. So therefore, you monitor that from the beginning. You what do you call, predict yourself. This will happen. This will happen. Therefore, I need to look at their financials. Therefore, I need to tell them the adequate provisions, adequate transactions, all the transaction take into account. They will miss some transaction. This is where I came up with the liability according to the bank transaction I explained. So make sure that they have accounted very well. But this cannot be done at the last minute when they call for the audited accounts. From the beginning, you need to work on. So therefore, missing and that and this thing, I don't think that right opinion you have declared or expressed, and also the adequate knowledge whether they have, who are signing the financial statement, directors. So if you actually educate them, this is what happened, this is how it is, you need to tell them before sign. You need to make sure that this will happen, this is there, this is there, that is there, like that. You need to explain, then only you can actually work out. Otherwise, you need to I think account on that liability. Yeah, Nisha.
All right, thanks. Actually, this question we have already discussed. This is about the public secret that we have discussed about. In order to build up the relationship with the IRD officials, we may have to offer compliments, kind of. We have already discussed, but this question is asking whether it's professionally acceptable, and do we need to disclose these to our clients, kind of questions. What do you think, Sama? Professionally acceptable? I don't
what is actually professional acceptable?
This giving compliments to
Acceptable.
the
what is no, actually it is not acceptable. I must tell you, not acceptable. Don't go those don't use those paths as much as possible. And I can tell thousands of experience, but end of the day you will lose. Be careful. You will lose the client, and you must be very careful, because there are a lot of people to grab your client, and therefore you must be very careful and handle the client and talk to the client and explain them. There are very nice people in the department. They actually listen to you, and I actually bring those examples also. I will give with the hypothetical. Now, it's not, again, it's discriminators if I say the male or the female. I will tell a person and gone and department and has done a different way and trying to do different way, and as a result the board of directors has decided not to approach. But when they called us and we went to that, and somehow it has done a different manner. But what happened end of the day, actually it's in the court now. And always what I'm trying to say, always very not the legitimate manner or the illegal manner what you are going to do, and it's not going to end up. So therefore you need to be careful. All these things you should not do that. I'm trying to tell you. And don't think that the case is over, but the matter is not yet over. Matter will coming continually, because you are the owner of that client. But therefore you must be very careful. Don't touch on these areas, and those are not professional, and disclosing to the client and all. So therefore if it is not going to do, disclosing is not going to come to the question. So therefore I don't always I mean maintaining the honesty and integrity, and then the professionalism will come, and other areas of this the ethics background will come to the picture. But you may say that someone we cannot do that, because some of the people, yes, therefore you must be smart. Smart how? Get the letter, action on quickly. Don't leave on the client's table for long. Take that letter onto your custody. When the department send a letter, take to your custody. Keep with you. Work you with the department, right? You with the department. But if you have not set the right set of accounts, I'm not in a position to answer the question.
All right. This question is relating, that means the most tax consultants in the market are not qualified, or they are semi-qualified. They're asking whether, is it the reason because that CA is not encouraging or the engaging or the starting tax practitioners once they qualified? Do you think that kind of?
Yeah, now that is a good question. Actually, it hit on SME sector, SME practitioners, SMPs, small and medium practitioners. It happens. Yeah, I understand. One or two after 2 years, 3 years experience, audit firm, they go and open up a business and they say tax consultant. Even they say, sir, you know, likewise they have that relationship. How actually they maintain that relationship with the proper coordination with the department? This is how they have created. Why we cannot do that? Why we actually blaming them? These people have gone and discussed the department, and they answer the question because they don't have anything else. They have the letters with the department, and when they receive a letter, when they receive a letter, that's a big business for them, and they go behind and discuss and handle the matter, not unethical manner, very ethical manner, nothing, no sense. Okay, don't think like that. They nicely handle. And these I think I must tell you 25, 30, 35, this range of boys and girls are doing this practicing, and they are not yet qualified chartered accountant, not yet qualified any institutes tax courses or any chartered or CTA or whatever, no qualification, but they have experience. What actually how, and they get signed from one of the our chartered accountants who are in the practice. This is the reality. Yeah, this is the rationality that is happening in the market. So why actually we cannot, as a practitioner, go and do that? And enough businesses are in the market. Why we talk about all these things? But I don't think necessary. But it doesn't mean that institute should do that and this thing. If I need something, why actually I not limit to Kalam? Why I actually go to Polonnaru? Why I go to Matara? Why I go to Kandy, Kurunagala? Why? It's not because of I have money. Or not, it's not because of I like to travel. No. Because of I cannot touch more businesses in Colombo, because there are a lot of practitioners. Yes. Plenty of practitioners. Where I may not be able to convince, where I may not be able to earn. But if you go to the Kurunagala, you can get only 5,000 rupees per tax consulting service. It doesn't matter, I give a service. But this gradually will improve. This is how I actually improved ourselves, and this is how I developed my firm from one branch to the other branch. So we actually have a way of going and thinking of a business strategy and a pattern of doing business and the style of working with the people. Then I don't think that we should complain on that.
Yeah, all right, thanks. One more question, Saman. This is actually regarding the quality control aspects, I guess. We will finish the session just after this question. This is about the advocacy and self-review risk. If we are the tax consultant as well as the auditor, how to manage the advocacy and the self-review risk?
In the firms itself, Nishani, some of the firms itself, they have that internal review procedure, right? Yeah. And also, if it is a corporate level now, corporate businesses, they have the /MB, and they get that review also. And they are that now. I recently actually touched on the file. They touch on tax part as well, right? Very quite interesting. And also, like I said, that these questions are actually very much important for us to actually create and also help our practitioners. But don't expect tomorrow morning we will put up a pool of people and review panel there is, and we can review and all. No, actually we were planning to put up one small software also to encourage this sector as well. We are working on that. Actually, these are very valid proposals which we can actually think about, Nishani, in our institute level, and also the member relation committee. We can think about, and Tishan is a very good go-hitter and also envisioning leader like, so he can actually think and different approaches. These are the results actually we are sharing with you, how I do business today with you, right? It has never happened before. So these are the actually strategies where he has thought about it. Send those proposals to the institute, and also in future he will look into and ourselves look into, and we will help you all. And it is quite interesting, the review and how we do and how we encourage you to do business in this ethical, within the ethical framework, rather going here and there and doing that and this thing. So actually that's a good proposal we will work on, and can be done.
Yes, if I just further clarify that what they are asking is, when you are the auditor as well as a tax consultant, there's a self-review threat to the auditor.
Yes. Yes.
How to manage that?
Yeah. Now there are now the circumstances self-threat review. What is that as a tax consultant we do? As the auditor, what we do? Auditor, we do the express our opinion. What the firm doing? The audit division, tax compliance work. We do the tax compliance work. We are not giving any assurance or whatever, nothing. We comply with the tax compliance work. So if you engage with different kinds of businesses, like VAT assignment, like that assignment, this assignment, some big liability arise businesses, you need to have different kinds of businesses. You cannot have the partnership in that business. You can have a limited liability company or different kinds of business where those partners are not in that business, and those are individually and separately independent, who are expressing an opinion. And this is how you need to engage, attack on this self-threat review. You cannot be engaged, the firm cannot be engaged in two different aspects. The tax division will do only the compliance work. Hope I give the answer.
Yes, all right. Okay. Since we have answered all the questions, we can conclude the session. Thank you very much for your time. I think the participants would have gained a lot of knowledge, as well as thanks for sharing your experience with someone. It will add value to their practice as well. Right. We can conclude the session. I would like to give a special thanks to our participants and the audience also. We are looking forward to see you in our next webinar as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nishani, moderating me, and thank you, staff of the Institute, Actually, this was postponing. Somehow, finally, we managed to have it. Thank you so much, all Niroshi, Nalin, Sudhara, and Kavisha. Everyone, thank you. And thank you, Nishani, moderating me. And looking
All right.
forward and good future for everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.